If there is anything any church is practicing today as marriage or family life, they grant everything without exception from the Catholic Church. Check history. It has it that way. In fact, if not for the issue of marriage, we wouldn't have had Anglican Church today. I hope you know.
Yes.
Yeah, it was the issue of marriage that made Anglican Church to come into the state. You know the story of the human age. Good. So, driving it from that way, the church followed what the pagan world had as their traditions and customs. But along the line, one man, St. Ignatius of Antioch, rose and said it would be good for us to define, let us know what we define as our marriage. His aim was not to abolish what people had in their culture, but the aim was basically to give more attention to the pastoral care of Christian marriage and to develop a Christian spirituality of marriage. Because in those days, what we have today, as people don't know the origin of the things that are existing now. If you trace it to the roots, there is nothing existing now that didn't have about in the past. The people, they don't have decency in the way they behave or act. If you have heard about the Olympiacos, they have a very big stage where naked men and women come out to display themselves. And if you feel like having fun, you can come out there and have a feel of it. So that nudity was there and it continued to what we have today as pornography. So, and this was the world that was having Christians inside it. Married men and women didn't have any problem with such culture and attitude. And the Christians said no. Why do we define what we hold as our value? This was the origin of how the church started moving to their principles and definitions of marriage. Now, after the Ignatius of Antioch, the Synod of Nicaea came up with a perspective that marriages must be concluded according to social customs, but at the same time, they must be done in front or in the face of the church. That confirmation was carried on as a gradual process until the time Christians began to dominate the empire, that is the Roman Empire. The story of how Christians became very powerful in the world. I hope people know the history. That after the conquering of Emperor Constantine, Christianity became the religion of the empire, the Roman Empire. And at that point, after the year 313 AD, many bishops were made governors of states, governors of different particular territories. Because the emperor said, in you I see Jesus Christ, and if Jesus Christ is governing, then things are in order. So that was how the bishops and the popes and Christianity became a well-known religion. For people to become, government workers or social workers, they had to convert from paganism to Christianity. So at this point, everything was changing radically with furious speed from paganism to Christianity. It was at this point that Christians said, now we have to define what marriage should be for us. We are no longer going to dance to the tune of these pagan people. We will define what marriage should be like. It was also at this point that we started having infant baptism. Infant baptism was not the culture of Catholicism. Before you are baptized, you must be as old as a man or woman who can reason and make a decision. And then you are asked, do you choose Jesus Christ? And you come out before people and say, yes, I choose Jesus Christ. Then the discipliner academy will be given to you. The discipline of the secrets will be given to you to go through before you are accepted or baptized and then confirmed to become a full member. If you come to church that time, you don't come inside the church, you stay outside, because it is not worthy for someone who is not baptized to come into the realm of those who are baptized. But that time, at that period, if you're a Christian, it is a modern name. You know, people see you, they respect you because they know you are a Christian. Okay. Now, this point, many Christianity, they dominated the whole society. There was a call for a change on what we had as a structure of marriage and family life. At this point, we now have what we define or call marriage as a defined state of life in the church. Marriage became that defined. Now, this progressive development of the church on marriage reached its final by the 12th century when the church obtained complete decision in matrimonial affairs. Before that time, anything marriage has to do with the worldly or state affairs. But now the church has taken over and even became responsible for the regulation of civil consequences of marriage. In the patristic, that is the church fathers, we saw marriage and family life as a moral obligation and something that is not dissolved because of the sacrament of the word. In the time of these church fathers, it was something that insisted because there was not just a union, but they saw it as a sacred bond that has been defined and identified by God for the procreation of humanity and expansion of life. The scholastic people saw it as a sacrament in the sense that a symbol that will not be broken, and like also told contracts. It was this notion about marriage that lingered even down to the time of the Council of Trent till Vatican II, where we are now. Remember, as at Vatican II Council, the church didn't have the canon law as they will have it today. The previous canon law was that of the Council of Trent, which, if you like, was promulgated by the year 1917 until this final version of the canon law. And that will be where we will properly express the mind of the church. But before we go there, listen to what the church had to say when the bishops of the world met on the issue of marriage and family life. There were certain points that they pointed out. Number one, they looked at the well-being of the individual, of both the human and Christian society, and something that is closely bound with the healthy state of conjugal and family life. Government stress number 47. That means, for the church fathers, if the individual person and the society will be held, it depends solely on the way the society looks and handles marriage and family life. Secondly, they emphasize that the dignity of marriage is not reflected because that is, they were lamenting on what they saw as the problem. You know, I told people that the problem surrounding marriage and family life, I don't think it will ever end. I don't think it will ever end. I don't know what is your opinion about it, but I don't think it will ever end. Because no matter how the church tries to push on, even many people now are agitating, you know, for Francis to reconsider certain things. Like, let me give you an instance, like some of our brothers working at Holland, or Netherlands, sorry. They say if you go to the church, there is a place that they have for those who are the same sex marriage. You see, oh, they are members of our family, even though they don't keep to what we define as what church laws are stipulated, but they are members of the family. They are still part of the body of Christ. Are we going to change them away? Are we going to throw them away? But for people in Africa, it's a very big problem. We can't take this thing. Even in some part of Europe, it is not all settled. But the church is still thinking that something can be done. And this is not trying to hold a right and define this thing as a marriage. I don't know if you are seeing where the world is going to. So these are the problems that the Vatican II Council we are looking at. This was 57 years ago. This was 57 years ago. Now, we also observe one of the problems they say marriage law and family life is often dishonored by selfishness, hedonism, unlawful contraceptive practices, and also it is disturbed by economic, social, psychological, and climate and civil climate of today. Of course, you all know that one of the criteria that people choose their life partners is on economic reason. True of us. True. True. True of us. True. I want to share the story of St. John of the Cross. St. John of the Cross had this story he wrote about himself. He said, "My father married my mom because he truly loved her. And it was for my father that I learned what love meant." What was the story? The father was from an aristocrat family. And you know, in those days, if you are from a very rich family, you don't stoop so low to pick your wife from a very poor family. If you do that, your family will denounce you and take away their name from you because they don't want to be associated. They can't associate their name with a family that is very, very poor. So, for that to be possible, the father of St. John of the Cross, what he did was he came out and denounced his own family before they disowned him because of the wife he was to marry. So he accepted to live in poverty with the wife and he suffered a lot to train their children, even when he had the opportunity to be a very rich man, and he accepted to marry that woman. We can't pass the thing aside. Come now, or even if it is you know not to. What do you think about it? What do you think about it? This is my opinion. You know, some of us priests, we pass through a lot. Somebody will tell me, "Father, I want you to pray about this name or these names." 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm considering that third person. You know, he has handwork. And from the way I'm looking at it, as time goes on, he can become better. He has higher potential. But that first one, he shows so much love, but he doesn't have anything. You know, I don't want the money that I will go and start strongly. You know, I will be killing myself. I will be killing myself. See, but the second person, he has been showing so much love, but I'm not too sure. You know. You can tell you today things have, I have something. Tomorrow you start complaining. They're no longer there, but this person that has so much, the type of love he gives is just all about, the attention he gives is just all about, when you call him, when he doesn't even ask you how you doing. I said, what do you want me to pray for?
You have already made the choice, I've already yes.
Yeah, what do you want me to pray for? Because it's important for me to know you are the one that is going to do this marriage, not me. It's not me.
Yes.
Okay? And marriage should be done away from beyond what we see spiritually. This is not a spiritual affair here, young lady. Define what you want in marriage. I can only lead you to tell you this is what the church wants. This is what the church can space of you. Then I can also pray that this decision you are going to make will be someone that will be okay for you. Forget about the money. Some people were not so great when they started and they became. Some people were great when they started and now they have fallen. So it is but for that young lady, it was not something that is possible. I'm talking about married life or marriage or family life being dishonored by selfishness. For me, that's what is happening to that young lady. Now, the church still maintains that God Himself is the author of marriage and has endowed it with various benefits. See this another guy will be concluding. Okay, in chapter 2, they also maintain that the institution of marriage and marriage law is honored to procreation and elevation of the offspring, and so many other points. Now, taking an overview from the position of Vatican II, you see the revelation of the mind of the church on marriage has not changed from the way it started. Despite the propaganda many people carry about marriage, the church decided to explain in details her mind about marriage in the canon law of 1983. I thank God for St. John Paul II. He fought to that nail.
He did a great job.
Pick up his book on love and responsibility for what I'm talking about. He fought to that nail to redefine certain things the church has been finding difficult to define about marriage. And I think it ameliorated the problems because if you are not looking for anything to define, even if you go to the canon law, there is a proper definition of it. Except the ones that are saying now, we're looking at that very soon. So let us go to what the canon law stipulates about the church, because you will agree with me, if you want to know the mind of God, you will see it in His laws and what? Commandments. Two of us. If you want to know the mind of the church in any issue, pick your canon
law.
Yes. Even as a counselor, I advise, pick the church canon law, go to it. You will know the mind of the church on marriage and family life. Now, the first point you see here that the church presents, I want you to pay attention to those words. They are very powerful, as they have intricate meanings, that are inside those words. Let me take it. The church says that marriage is a covenant. Mark the word covenant, by which the man and woman establish between themselves the partnership of their whole life, and which of its own very nature is honored to the well-being of the spouses and to the procreation and upbringing of children. It is between the baptized, and it has been raised by the Lord to the dignity of the sacrament. So there are 4 things here: the covenant, partnership, procreation and upbringing, sacrament. These 4 things. Now, in this statement or this line of thoughts, we will see that the church had what I call the purpose of marriage as the first intent, and secondly, what it wants to define as the properties of marriage as the second content of that message or that canon. Now, what was the purpose? The purpose was first to establish that marriage is all about a partnership between a man and a woman. And I will share a story by Pope Francis. In his advice to the married, he said that marriage doesn't mean that people are not going to quarrel or have squabbles. But he said, even after all these things happen, before you lay your head to rest or sleep, make peace. Make peace. Oh, that is sorry, not be sorry. You have to be teaching these things to them. Yeah, no matter who is right, no matter who is wrong, let them make peace before they sleep. That is the part of partnership. But what this implies is that there should be a mutual completion and personal perfection of the marriage partners, where in love and unity, two of them complement the other. Now, for the procreation and upbringing of children, these things are further explained in the scripture. When the word of God says in Genesis 1:1, it says that man and woman are created in the image and likeness of God. It says that they should increase and multiply. But some people now are saying, if you are increasing and multiplying, make sure you have what you use and do what? Are you seeing any problem coming up? Some people are saying, if you are going to increase and multiply, we are not saying not to increase and not multiply. You are going to increase and multiply. Make sure you are able to do what?
You feed them.
Train them.
You train them.
And then some people will advise for family what? Planning. I don't know how that works. But one question I keep on asking is this: you know, how are these people who we are our grandparents?
This is not there like this. Sir.
And great grandparents, how are they able to manage all this stress? Some of them had 14 children, some of them had 12.
They no pay school.
Some had 10. And
find out.
you know, how can we compare them and us? I don't know. Maybe we are doing much work than them.
Of course.
What do you think?
The expectations are too much.
It's not the same, okay.
Not the same.
They have more farms.
They needed more hands.
More industries than we have.
No, they.
I want to know.
Father, if you ask me a question, you can answer.
Okay, the economy was better. Okay, let's go to the properties of marriage. There are two essential properties of marriage. One, unity. Two, indissolubility. And that makes it a sacrament. Unity and indissolubility. These two properties make them to acquire a distinctive firmness by the reason of the sacrament. I would like to repeat what we had in the Council of Trent, which Vatican II Council did not also remove. They say, Christians are forbidden by divine law to have several wives at one time. And this was directed at them against the usual form of simultaneous polygamy, namely polygyny and polyandry, that it is prohibited by natural law. But in our time, we also have what? When we have same-sex marriage, it's a new creation from the already existing problem we had in the church. Now, on the issue of indissolubility, the ordinance of God has made it. Even Jesus Christ said it that what God has brought together, let no man do what? With asunder. How do we bring about this conviction even when people are dying? Somebody asked that question here. What is the mind of the church about it? Because it's important. If the church is fighting towards the preservation of life, and this marriage is not working towards the preservation of life, what is the take of the church on it? That is now we now have the judicial session of the church, where some of these things are sought, and if by proxy or by investigation, this is not really working out. They begin the fighting of the process of I don't like using the word. We don't use the word divorce. Separation. The church advises to use use the word separation, not divorce doesn't exist. I hope you know. Doesn't exist. So if we draw from the word of this mind of the church, we will see what we call the effects. First of all, one of the first one you see of marriage as concerned by the church is that from a married marriage arises a bond which of its own permanent and exclusive nature makes the family, let me say, evident or recognized. The church insists that each spouse has an equal obligation and right to whatever pertains to the partnership of conjugal life. The church uses the word partnership in the sense that it is something that has to do with a life partner. And then parents have to ensure that their children are given physical, social, cultural, moral, and religious upbringing. And if of course you know that another effect is that if in a marriage that was not is not recognized sacramentally, somehow the church doesn't look at the children there as legitimate. But if it is done, then they become legitimate children of that marriage, unless otherwise proven. Now, a general overview. There are many ideologies and perceptions about marriage and family life today. And these ideologies do not tally. If you like, they're not universal. That is why there is confusion and division all over the world about marriage and family life. Now, the church is obliged to express her mind like a mother to her children about what marriage and family life is all about. Just like every parent does at home to their children. And this particular obligation of the church to let the people of God know their mind about marriage, is being fulfilled through you, the marriage counselors, and even ordained ministers, because it's also part of the stipulation in canon law. The canon law has the provision that if there is no priest around, an approved lay minister can see to marriage, I hope you know. Are you aware about that? It's the canon law. So, the scheme of rightly observed that in our time, the perception about marriage and family life, even though it's informed by scriptures and the mind of the church, when we refer to the magisterium, the canon law, and all others, but in our time, interpersonal relationship of the marriage state has become the mainstream of married life and family life, the interpersonal relationship. So the patriarchal and authoritarian pattern of family relationship has gone, and a more friendly relationship of partnership and comradeship has taken place. Please, you need to emphasize this. The time has gone when it is all about what I say in this house must happen. There's no dialogue, there's no negotiation, there is no open-mindedness to criticisms and one perspective of the perspective of one to the other. One person takes the lead, what he or she says is fine. Some people think that it's only men that only women suffer this thing. Men also suffer. There are some homes where it is the woman who says what will happen. The man will tell you, you answer. Madam has not said anything, no. It is only when she says something that something can happen.
We know.
So, in this our era, this should be the emphasis that there should be some kind of a friendly relationship or companionship and comradeship. In fact, the modern marriage and family life in the world is democratic. It's democratic in the sense that each member of the family can find support in other members when the need arises. So there will be some game of politics or democracy in the family. You know, together, decision together. Now, you have to teach them to understand that just like the man of the church has been expressed, if in the 16th century it was possible to write, I love you because you are my wife, then there is no doubt that in our own time, you can express it in the other way around. You are my wife because I love you. It simply points to the fact that there is a noticeable difference between the pattern of marriage and family life now than then. And what is the life of the church about it? Simple. The church wants us to see in all its naked reality what marriage is. It is true that the structural changes that have taken place in society, especially the rise of industrialization, unlike when our forefathers had farms and farmlands, urban communities. You know, some of you don't think that this is affecting marriage. This industrialization movement from one place to another, looking for financial each other. You don't think it's affecting marriage and family life? It is. If you don't know.
Yeah.
So these urban communities have profoundly affected the position of marriage and family life. The family life has suffered what we can call a functional loss. In that, the wide variety of functions previously performed by the larger family